What's your take on that fight as far as stylistically, and who do you think, if you can say, who do you think who do you think is going to win? I'll just go ahead and ask you that, and then who do you want to win?
Well, I mean, I'm commentating on the fight, so I can't give any kind of real honest. Okay. This is what I think, but the safe money is Mayweather by decision. I think that's the most obvious thing that could possibly happen. I think if Mayweather can stop Conor before the end of the fight, it's going to be like a TKO against the ropes, where he's just kind of standing with his hands at his chest, breathing heavy, and Mayweather's just kind of tuning him up from a distance. To be honest, I think it's going to be a decision. If Conor wins, it's probably going to be a stoppage within the first 6 rounds, because we do know his cardio does drop off. I mean, how he manages himself over a 12 rounds of boxing is very different to MMA. So whether he steps in there looking entirely different to a UFC fight, and I don't know. But you've got to think everything favours Mayweather in this one. The big gloves, the boxing ring, obviously the very, very stringent rule set in which he's fighting under. But it's a credit to Conor, and there's really nothing to lose, because as we all know, at the end of the day, if it's a fight, Conor walks away with the victory every time in any way he chooses. So it's kind of like, it's almost like stepping out of real fighting and then stepping into tennis or something. You lose at tennis, it doesn't matter because you can fight. It's kind of, there's like a safety net for Conor there. So I think he can fight with a little more confidence and a little more aggression, you could say, because he can take those chances. The other thing as well that people have got to consider, when he's punching his way into a left hand in an MMA fight, he has to worry about what comes next.
Right.
You smash somebody with a left hand, they're going to grab a hold of you. You've got to think about the consequences of that. In this fight, the only consequence is that he's not going to get too much time to jostle in the clinch before the referee breaks them.
Yep.
So he can really crash into that left hand as much as he wants.
Yep.
He will be the bigger man in the clinch, without a doubt. And I think it's a smart thing bringing. He's brought Joe Cortez into sparring to kind of, give him some pointers and help him understand when he's going to be broken up and where he's going to be encroaching on the rules, you could say. And Joe Cortez is obviously the referee that refereed Hatton and Mayweather. Yeah. And that was notoriously a very sanitized boxing match, you could say. He was very involved in that fight. As we know, Ricky Hatton likes to hunt the body. He likes to rough people up on the inside. And it was almost like Joe Cortez had a conversation with the Mayweather camp and had been told to keep them apart as much as possible. So I think Conor's doing some of the right things, certainly. I would have liked to have seen him pick Paulie Malignaggi's brains a bit more, because I think he is an excellent source of knowledge, especially on Mayweather. But Conor marches to the beat of his own drum, and that's why he's such a fascinating individual. And we can't count him out in this fight, because he's made the unbelievable believable already.
Yeah, right. It's interesting.
Look at that analyst. I'm telling you.
I know, he's amazing.
I told you.